Ignore the mocking, Chris Wood is precisely what Newcastle United need. Kylian Mbappe, Erling Haaland, Aaron Ramsey, Donny van de Beek, Anthony Martial. They're just 5 names Newcastle United have been linked with since the dawn of the Saudi Arabian-led era, and there's been countless others, with the Magpies keen to spend their newfound riches in the January transfer window. Unsurprisingly, supporters are excited at the prospect of new arrivals after the frugality of Mike Ashley's 14-year reign in the Northeast, and the Magpies kicked off their spending with the quick and astute purchase of Kieran Trippier from Atletico Madrid for around £12 million. But there's not an area of the squad that Eddie Howe is especially happy with, and the former Bournemouth manager wants to strengthen in all areas. The most pressing of these is the forward department, following news that Callum Wilson will miss the next 8 weeks with a calf injury. With seemingly limitless amounts of cash to spend, the Magpies were expected to lure a big money signing to St James Park, and that, in part, explains the reaction to news of Chris Wood's £25 million move to the northeast from Burnley. The move has been mocked in some quarters, with the likes of Peter Crouch and Gary Lineker taking to social media to joke about the deal. But Newcastle are in a lose-lose position when it comes to their newfound status. Spend big and the owners will be accused of buying their way out of trouble, spend reasonably and they're criticized for not being ambitious enough. 20 million DMACRN https://t.co/u3xur2nadw available https://t.co/k9nyjhafezpic.twitter.com iwas Buffett criticism shouldn't matter, only the reality should, and the reality is simple. Newcastle are in a relegation battle and have a newly earned status as the richest club on earth. Those two facts don't mix particularly well, and to harness the club's spending potential, Howe must first prevent them from returning to the championship. Make no mistake, here are clubs and supporters nationwide that now want to see Newcastle relegated, having previously looked fondly on the Magpies. Not quite everyone's second team, but certainly not hated. That, in part, explains the thought process behind a move for Wood. English clubs are reluctant to help Newcastle get their spending started by selling to the Magpies, knowing that the club could be a force to reckon with in the coming years if they avoid relegation this season. Manchester City experienced similar envy when the club was sold in 2008 and they waited little time in splashing out £32 million on Robinho on deadline day. The following summer they made a splash by stealing Carlos Tevez from rivals Manchester United and spending over £40 million on Emmanuel Adebayor and Kolo Toure from Arsenal. But the £12 million they spent on Vincent Kompany and Pablo Zabaleta in the summer before the takeover shows the value of sensibility. The two continued to serve the club for the next decade, forming a crucial part of the title-winning teams of 2012, 2014 and 2017. City showed the value of looking beyond big-money signings, and Newcastle should not be scoffed at for securing a quick sensible signing. Wood's release clause meant the Magpies didn't need to waste time negotiating with Burnley, and crucially, the club were able to sign him in time to register him for this weekend's 6-pointer against Watford. Beyond the ease of the deal, there's the fact that Wood should, theoretically at least, take little time to settle at the club given he's accustomed to English football and he has experience of relegation battles under his belt. The Clarets may have taken £25 million for Wood last summer, but they wouldn't have countenanced selling one of their best players to a relegation rival this month, meaning Newcastle have directly weakened one of their biggest threats. The brutal reality of Newcastle's situation was exposed by the side's embarrassing defeat to Cambridge United in the FA Cup third round last weekend. The result prompted Amanda Staveley and her husband Merdad Gadusi to visit the dressing room afterwards, though Howe insists the pair were upbeat and focused on the side's relegation scrap. Nevertheless, the stark reality of the Magpies' form was laid bare by a side currently 17th in League One, and Howe bemoaned the absence of Wilson, claiming his side lacked a focal point. Transfer News Day 14 recap: Juventus on Arsenal's Arthur Push and Lions Emerson stance. Granit Xhaka issues apology after red card and Arsenal's draw with Liverpool. Wayne Rooney disagrees with Cristiano Ronaldo over Manchester United target not ideal. Arsenal star Ben White speaks out on Granit Xhaka red card against Liverpool. Wood provides just that, and his record, while not particularly eye-catching, has remained consistent during his time in the top flight. The 30-year-old's hit double figures in the league in each of his 4 full seasons with Burnley, and he's missed just 11 league matches in that time. With Trippier arriving from Atletico, Wood will have the type of service that he thrives on, and he arrives at the best possible time with games against Watford and Leeds on the horizon. The fact that Wood has only signed a 2.5-year deal speaks volumes about the Magpies' long-term plans. He's not the striker that will take the club to the next level, but his goals can help Newcastle stay in the division. If they don't, Newcastle will have the perfect striker for the championship to help them return to the top flight within a year, and this has clearly been factored into the club's thinking, showing promising practicality at the early stages of the new era. Should he help the club stay in the top flight this term, the Magpies can fast-track their plans of competing with the Premier League's top six. For £25 million, that's a gamble worth taking. More Mikel Arteta dealt blow with two key Arsenal stars set to miss Liverpool clash. For more stories like this, check our sport page. Follow Metro Sport for the latest news on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram.